SEC game for Arkansas. Big start to the day.
Maddie Pence's first pitch in to Reagan Johnson, a little too far inside.
And just look, you can see where the infield for Auburn is positioned. It tells you this is one of the fastest players in the conference. Reagan Johnson, 9 for 9. Look at where the Auburn infield is. I mean, they are legitimately 35 to 40 feet away from her. Can't give her any time at all.
Johnson can absolutely fly. 9 for 9 stolen bases this year. Does a good job patrolling center field as well.
109, Britt, high school steals. Never caught stealing in high school. Not one time. 109 set a record in the state of Texas maybe, where she's from. All-time record for high school softball.
1-1 up in the zone from Penta. Counts 2 balls and a strike. Yeah, we asked Coach Steifel about Johnson, and you did, Mark, and she said, and I quote, she can flat out fly.
Absolutely, yep. 378 batting average as a freshman, so not only can she fly, she can, with this kind of speed, she puts it on the ground, she's going to beat it.
Freshman All-American last year. Pokes one through the left side, in the center. That's a leadoff hit for Reagan Johnson.
Well, and just really good hitting. She got a pitch up and away. I'm not going to try to delve into fastball, curveball, or delivery in the baseball game, Britt. She got a pitch up and away. It looked like they're just great hands. Slapped it the other way. Didn't try and do too much. Really good hitting.
And for Johnson, her 37th hit of the year. Team leading 37th hit. As a runner on first, nobody out for the Hogs. That'll bring up the right fielder. Hannah Cannonson coming up. Good hitter, 455 hitter with 15 hits this year. And Penta early, though, Mark, you see him falling behind early. I know that'll be a talking point for Coach Dean.
Well, that's probably the scouting against her. Coach Deifel and her team get pitches in the starting pitcher. Any dominant pitcher, baseball, softball, you want to fatigue the pitcher. And the more pitches you can get, build that pitch count, the better off it.
A good hitter, though. Camden's second team All-SEC takes that one inside, and Camden gets a free base to first. Third time this year she's been hit. The Hogs off to a great start. Runners at first and second with nobody out.
Well, and dangerous there. Good at bat there by Johnson. Then she hits Camden right there. Now, Maddie Penta's got to deal with one of the better power hitters in the league with Bree Ellis.
Yeah, Ellis, the 2022 SEC Freshman of the Year. She broke Casey Cooper's freshman home run record right here at Auburn. She played her first 2 seasons on the Plains, transferred to Arkansas this past offseason, and Coach Dean calls time, and he wants a moment to talk things over with his pitcher, Mark. And in an early in a start, what's the message right now?
Well, I think like we will talk about, again, I'm going to talk a lot of baseball. That's what we do for a living. But just, you know, the double play here, because there's so much speed, the bases are so tight, probably not as ineffective as in the baseball field, but just make pitches and get in the strike zone. She did it and right there on the first at bat, and Johnson made her pay and then hit the second batter. So just, I think, get in the zone with your stuff, keep the ball down, and try to see if you can get Bree Ellis to just not get the barrel to the ball.
These are 2 players now that are familiar with one another. Yes, they were teammates last year, but I mean, these are players that practice against each other now every day, especially in the preseason. You're getting live ABs against one another.
Power versus power. Here's fun to watch.
2 of the SEC's best. First pitch in from Penta. Ellis gets out in front, turns on it foul. It's 0-1.
Fastball in her half. I think that's probably the approach. Is you can't let Bree Ellis get her arms extended. We saw it when we came in. We had the change up down and away. She had a fastball out. She hit both of them to opposite fields and got those arms extended. So see if she doesn't try to stay in there, does Maddie Penta.
0-1, hits this one a mile high. Abby Smith on the warning track. She runs out of real estate, and the SEC Player of the Week starts the weekend off with a 3-run home run, returning back to the Plains. Bree Ellis puts Arkansas up 3-0.
But I think they were trying to come in and they didn't get there. Maddie Penta, I think, missed her spot, missed up over the plate. And again, Bree Ellis able to get those strong arms of hers extended and hit it up the left field wall. Look at the location of the pitch, right down the middle. And just too strong and too good to miss that pitch.
That was Ellis's 9th home run of the year, and you can see she's fired up.
Big start for the Razorbacks. That's what you want to do. You got a long day today, 2 games, first game of their SEC season, and a great job of her getting them started.
Well, and for Arkansas, this is their SEC opener. For Auburn, this is their SEC home opener. Tigers opened on the road at Missouri last weekend. Tough place to play up in Columbia. Auburn took game 3 on Sunday, lost the series. Arkansas, again, they had that first weekend bye, and it was interesting listening to Coach Deifel as the talented freshman at the plate now is Kennedy Miller. She said they were kind of glad to have that first weekend off, Mark, just to kind of sit back and watch to see how the other SEC games shake out.
Watch everybody go at it.
Miller, bouncing ball to short, just what the doctor ordered for Auburn and Maddie Pinta. Nelia Peralta takes care of it, 6-3. Arkansas led by ninth-year head coach Courtney Deifel. Mark, and you want to talk about how to rebuild a program. Courtney Deifel's playing at Arkansas is the best there is. I mean, how she turned that program around into SEC, back-to-back SEC champions, and they're in the mix every year now in the SEC.
Well, what a pleasant interview, too. We talked to her on Wednesday, and, man, she was just like talking to a friend you'd known forever, just very friendly, very offering, allowing us to do our job, and she was just she was a treat and a winner. She builds the program around freshmen, but she fills her needs with some transfer players. We'll talk about that later, but she was a breath of fresh air to interview.
That's one of the best parts of our jobs, right, is getting to interview all these great coaches from around the SEC. Mark, you get to do it both in baseball and softball.
Well, and they're stressed, right? I mean, coaches are stressed. They don't sleep well. They don't see their families this time of year. They're running full speed, and she was on her A game.
Here's Hannah Gamble. Gamble, talented player in her own right, hitting in the middle of this order. Only hitting .222 this year, and she's got the resume. I mean, she was a D1 first-team All-American a couple seasons ago back in 2022, an SEC All-Defensive team. In the hole 1-2. Hits one in the air. Smith on the run. Could be trouble again. Second home run of the inning for Arkansas. Hannah Gamble with home run number 7. Hogs take a 4-0 lead.
You said as a freshman, she was an All-American, and there she is. One thing that Coach said about her is she's the best version of herself this year. Felt like she kind of got away from that last year. Boy, she's come back this year with a big swing there, and Arkansas jumping out in a quick way. Right down the middle. That ball had some spin on it. I'm not going to venture into what it was. It was in the hitting zone for Hannah Gamble. Man, she got up under it and just smoked it. We talked about the power. Right now, the offensive power is beating the pitching power.
And Mark, you mentioned, Gamble getting back to herself. When you have success early as a collegiate player and receiving those accolades, and that's great. Nowadays, how hard is it to manage that pressure and to get recentered as Gamble's done and doing a great job this year?
Well, in this league, it's terrible. I mean, in this league, whatever the sport is, having a great day every time out is almost impossible. And then you have a year where you struggle, and then your mind comes in, right? The mental confidence part of it. So it's a roller coaster for these athletes. They're facing the best players in the country every time they walk on the field in the SEC.
Megan Kramer, left fielder, due up for the Hogs. Trying to keep it going. 4 runs off 3 hits this inning for Arkansas. Kramer hitting .278 from the left-handed side.
Coach Dean already has Annabelle Widger getting loose in the bullpen. You got 2 games today. We're hearing maybe an earlier start tomorrow because of the rain. It's a long day. And so you don't have to leave Maddie Pinta out there if you're going to have her best stuff. You can bring her back in the next game.
That's a great point, Mark. And that's the thing for both of these teams. Now, we haven't seen Arkansas's pitching yet with Morgan Linestock getting the nod in game 1. It'll be interesting to see how these coaches manage their pitching staffs here this weekend. Because again, a doubleheader Saturday and then game 3 tomorrow. I mean, that takes away that 24-hour rest period that your Friday starter would typically have if you choose to go with them on Sunday.
And Britt, you know better than me because you watch it so much. 4-0's a big lead in softball, especially with the pitching and the way that the game is so tight and close. So really, baseball it's not. But in this sport, 4-0's a big lead for Arkansas. It's going to be tough for Auburn to overcome that.
2-2, Maddie Pinta got her looking, strike 3. Big strikeout for Pinta just to settle in. Job's not done yet, though. Arkansas still has Ryland Hedgecock, DP, coming to the plate.
So the question for Coach Dean and his staff is, how long do we let, it's not hot today, but she's still working hard. She's a big kid, big, strong kid. She works hard on each pitch. How long do we leave her out there because we want to get her back, potentially for game 2, maybe game 3 tomorrow?
Facing a first-team All-American a season ago in Hedgecock. She's a second-team All-SEC selection where she hit .335 a season ago. Clubhouse leader with 21 home runs last year. Has 20 RBIs, 3 homers this year.
They've written 3 All-Americans in one lineup.
It's not bad.
Ellis, Hedgecock, and Ham. I mean, and we've seen 2 of them have a pretty good day so far. See what Hedgecock's got here.
Well, if you think about Kennedy Miller in the freshman season she's had. I think she could be in that freshman All-American conversation for sure.
I was very impressed yesterday as we sat in the rain, decided if we were going to play or not. Watching Arkansas, they are very physical. Whatever they're doing in the weight room back in Fayetteville, it's working because they look great in uniform, big, strong legs, and that's where it all starts in this game is the lower half.
Well, and that's the thing about Coach Deifel is it's not just this one team this year. If you look at her successful teams in the last 5 years, I mean, they have been known for just that in power, and she's doing it with recruiting, and then she's doing it with developing those players once they get on campus. Pitch behind 3-0. Hedgecock takes one down the middle for strike one.
It's sitting around 70 miles an hour with the fastball, 55 a little while ago. I'm assuming that was a changeup. But the one thing you hear all softball coaches talk about is spin. And from here, we're close enough. You can really see the ball spin. A couple of home runs, they were just flat in the middle of the plate.
Off speed, lifted into left. Abby Smith under it. And that ends the threat here in the top half of the first. But what a start.
Maryland transfer, lots of power. She's filling in nicely in her first year here at Auburn.
Morgan Linestock in the circle facing KK McCrary of Auburn. McCrary, the designated player for the Tigers, and Coach Dean has been raving about her, how she's been able to settle into this leadoff role, hitting .279. Transferred in from Tennessee. Linestock getting ahead 0-2.
All the Arkansas pitchers, we talked to Coach Deifel about the staff, all four of them, low to mid-60s, can pitch up and down the zone. Linestock was the one she said would throw more off-speed pitches than the others, despite being in the mid-60s. And there we've already seen a couple of balls, hit fastballs in the low 60s and one changeup so far. McCrary not quite as fast as her counterpart leading off for the Razorbacks with Johnson, but good speed, good contact hitter, and gets deep in counts.
Well, that on-base percentage high, too, at .458. And on the 1-2, Linestock retires KK McCrary. Or Linestock, 64th strikeout of the season. That's 10th in the SEC. Out of Scottsdale, Arizona, but transferred in from Southern Miss. She led Southern Miss in every pitching category last year. Had a 2.56 ERA with 185 Ks. Great start with a 4-0 lead here in the first.
Steady diet of fastball so far. Everything right around 62. There you see the numbers. Doesn't walk many, strikes out a bunch. ERA in good shape with a 5-0 record, so Morgan Linestock off to a great start.
Well, that's the thing. If you have those numbers in the circle with this lineup of Arkansas, that's a winning recipe more times than not.
It is, no doubt. And, you know, it's very similar to SEC baseball. You're going to see the horse in the first game of the series. You can call it Friday night. Today it's Saturday with a doubleheader, but you're going to see a horse. So, again, back to that 4-run first for Arkansas. That's a huge lead in this sport to overcome.
Kayla Packer, Tigers center fielder, batting second. And big thing for Michaela this year is she is not dealing with as many nagging injuries as she's had the last 2 years. And it's been showing off in her play. Hitting .333, started every game this year. Softly hit right side. Halverson comes up, takes a Dallas, and 2 quick outs for Linestock.
You know, it's pretty neat sitting from this vantage point, Britt. It's the spin on the ball. Every one of those pitches right there from Linestock, basically 62 miles an hour, but every one of them, I feel like, could be wrong, had a different spin. And she jammed right there. She jammed Packer on that pitch. It ran in on her hand, and she jammed it. So good pitching and great movement so far.
2 outs. Nelia Peralta coming to the plate. Flashes bunt, pulls back, and takes it for a strike. Nelia Peralta, 10 home runs her freshman season, hit 9 last year. A lot of power from that right side for Auburn playing shortstop. Got an off speed and out in front. Linestock working ahead, staying ahead, Mark, and she's ahead 0-2, 1 strike away here this inning.
First off-speed pitch we saw. Now, the rise ball's not her strength, so with 2 strikes, that was a really good changeup. Will she kind of go out and try to run one out there? I throw another changeup and see what she does.
0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Morgan Linestock with a 1-2-3 inning last year, in the last 3.
I can just see, Britt, if you're a recruit and you walk on that campus, first of all, the university, the campus is unbelievable. The facility is unbelievable. We see Maddie Punter with the ball on the outside. But when you walk on that campus, first of all, Arkansas just grabs you. But second of all, meeting with her, spending time with her and her staff, it would have to be an awesome visit. And she's done a good job. She gets good players, good coaches, get good players, and you win.
Well, and everybody got to see Arkansas last year with the SEC tournament being played at Bogle Park. Great facility, as you mentioned. And this year, the SEC tournament gets to come to this ballpark right here at Jamie Moore Field in Auburn, Alabama. So Hogs and Razorbacks, or Hogs and Tigers rather, will have a chance to face off against the other 11 teams in the SEC. 1-1 pitch to Halverson, located for a strike by Penta, makes it 1-2.
There's 5 transfer portal players in this Arkansas roster, and this is one of them. Kylie Halverson from South Dakota State, 38 home runs in 2 years. She hit 19 as a freshman, she hit 19 as a redshirt sophomore, and then she transferred into Arkansas.
Conference Player of the Year back in 2021. And Penta just misses on the outside corner, counts even 2-2.
And I don't think there's much high school softball in South Dakota. It's just so cold, so they have to go play summer travel ball. A lot of these girls do, and she was a nationally recruited player out of summer softball.
2-2, Penta wins the battle on the inside corner. Second strikeout for Maddie.
Yeah, that was just gas. My 10-year-old baseball kids call it cheddar cheese. This is what you call cheddar cheese on the hands. Watch this, wham. Life running in. It starts in the middle like a Greg Maddox fastball and runs in your hands, and not much that she can do. Great pitch by Penta.
Well, and it's easy to sit here and say, lay off, right, from the stands. And then you get in that batter's box.
43 feet.
Yeah, you get in that batter's box. It's a whole different story. And in the 9 hole is Lauren Camdenson, the sophomore out of Valley, Nebraska.
So let me just relate it to the Little League Baseball World Series. So in August, we watch the World Series. They're 46 feet away. If they're throwing 75, it's related to a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Penta's 43 feet away, throwing 70. Big ground ball there. K.K. Crocker across the infield. Is that right? Did I get it right? McCrary, excuse me. K.K. McCrary. But, man, the reaction. I mean, the ball's coming from a hard angle. It's behind her when she, so it's reaction time. It's closeness. I mean, this is a 100-mile-an-hour fastball in baseball terms coming from 43 feet.
2 quick outs for Penta. Rolls the lineup over to Reagan Johnson back at the top. She got the party started last inning with a leadoff single through the left side. A sophomore from Texas. First pitch, bottom fell out of that one and hit the outside corner for strike 1. And notice the difference, though, Mark. This inning, Penta's doing a better job of getting ahead and not falling so far behind. Mixing her speed so far, getting ahead, you're right. Reagan Johnson, 2-time silver medalist in the 300-meter relay in high school. Tough play at first, out of reach, foul play by Leck. Yeah, didn't she break a state record? She did, she set it. State record was set for her in the hurdle, 300-meter hurdles. And look, right there, when you see her slapping, I mean, she's a quarter way down the lineup before she makes contact. That kind of that slap mechanics they do, they kind of leaning out, running toward first base. Anyway, I think you got to stay in the box. But if you watch her, she's already getting on the lineup before she ever makes contact. A freshman All-American a season ago got a battle back down 0-2 against Maddie Penta. And Penta strikes her out on 3 pitches, and the Hogs go down in order. 1, 2, 3 in the top of the second. Nice job for Matt. As they get into SEC play. And Wohlers transferring in for the Tigers from DePaul. She was first team All Big East last year, led DePaul in just about every offensive category. Hit 364, 55 hits, 15 doubles, and 12 homers. Also drove in 38 runs. Auburn's got to find a way to adjust to Morgan Linestock. She had a quick 1-2-3 inning in the first. Talking to the Auburn strength coach right before the game, Brady told us this is the hardest working kid in the weight room. Her and Maddie Penta were names that popped up when we asked him, who is it that puts the time in the weight room? And Anna Wohlers was absolutely one of the top 2. Plays a good third base for Auburn. And when I talked to Coach Dean about her in the preseason, he described her as just a blue-collar player. She earns everything, nothing's given, and she's the same kid every day at the ballpark. That's what you need. Good chance for a fastball here. 2-1 count. See what she can do with it. 2-1. Bouncer to the right side. Halverson glove side. And that's a routine play. Huge. Leads Auburn with 7 homers. 21 runs batted in this year. Transferred in from Maryland out of Thousand Oaks, California. You just can't get swept on the road, Brett. That's the mindset of any softball or baseball coach. You got to get a win. You can survive 1 and 2. It's hard to recover when you're 0 and 3. offered and missed, and that's a great point, and that's why it's so tough in both baseball and softball to go on the road and win, and that's why all these coaches every weekend are talking about, hey, you got to take care of business at home.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, both leagues are as good as any league in the country, if not the best.
I'm really impressed watching Morgan Linestock. I haven't seen one pitch the same or stay straight. And I don't care if it's softball or baseball. Movement is king and change of speed is second. Yes, we want pitchers to throw hard, but movement and change of speed is huge. She's doing it. I mean, everything. That's just nasty right there. Can I use that word over here in softball? Nasty. That was nasty stuff. She went with a pitch away. Watch this thing just kind of, I guess we're rising here, a little spin to the outside. Man, hit her spot. No chance for Leck to get to that one.
Oh, 5 batters face, 5 outs, 3 strikeouts. Good start for Linestock. The righty transfer in the circle for Arkansas, facing Isis Tresvik of Auburn. Tresvik transferred in last year for the Tigers, and she has been just a ball of athleticism for the Tigers, both at the plate and in the corner outfield. Already robbed a couple of home runs this year, but she's got a good bat too, hitting .283, 15 hits. Still looking for that first homer, but she's got home run power.
One thing Auburn does have up and down the line, but they have speed. McCrary can run, Peralta can run, Tresvik can run. They have good speed in the lineup. They need to put the ball on the ground, see if they can use it. Good pitch. Very good pitch. Just around the inner black. The fans don't like it, but that was a really, really good pitch right there by Morgan Linestock. She was behind 2-0, looking for a pitch over the middle, and she did not give it to her.
2-1 off speed, takes another one for a strike, and Linestock again just needs one more to get out of here.
So much fun. You come hard in, you take a little off, I would call that a breaking ball to the outer half, and just really good pitching. She's fun to watch. With a 4-1 lead, she's going to be tough to overcome.
3 strikeouts, give her 4. To the top of the 3rd inning. Glad you could join us on this Saturday afternoon doubleheader for Auburn and Arkansas. And Mark Fuller, we've had some good plays already in this game, both in the circle and at the plate.
We have, and I think we're going to settle in here and see some really good pitching. The advantage for Arkansas is they got Maddie Penta, I think, before she was able to settle in. And Morgan Linestock seems like she is rocking and rolling on her side of the circle right now.
Facing Hannah Cammonson, the 2-0 hitter to lead off the inning for Arkansas, and she took one off the arm in her first AB, and that's the AB, I thought, Mark, that really put the pressure on Maddie, because after the leadoff single from Reagan Johnson, a free base made it 1st and 2nd.
Yep, 455 batting average, and they're 25 games into the season. This is not day one.
And Hannah playing in right field today, and she's also a pitcher. 11 appearances, 4 starts this year with a 2.74 ERA, so she's one that can do it all for Arkansas.
These game 1 starters in this league, they don't give you many windows to get them, and when they do, you have to get them, and Maddie Penta's settling in. They got her early. It's going to be up to the Auburn offense to see if they can kind of chip away, but she is settling in. We got a pitcher's duel going now.
That's her 4th strikeout and the 2nd looking to Arkansas hitters. And for Maddie, that's 6 in a row retired against Arkansas. And only 3 hits given up. One of those was to Bree Ellis back in the 1st inning. 3 steps back in.
She came in first pitch, and then the 2nd pitch she missed, and she missed again.
Ellis on the first pitch, ropes it into left field. Ellis having a great start, 2 for 2 day.
Watch this pitch now. Again, this is something she can get to. She's strong. And it really was middle in. It wasn't in, but it was middle in. We'll see a better look here. And Bree Ellis just too strong to miss out over the plate, gets the barrel to it and drills it.
A runner at first, nobody out. By the way, that was Bree's dad in the cowboy hat. You can always spot him a mile away. Wears it every game. That's his staple.
I love it. Arkansas versus all y'all. And they mean it.
That's a pretty good motto.
That's awesome. That's the greatest shirt going.
Pretty good motto.
I bet he wears it all 3 games of the series. He may have 3 of them. Hopefully he washes it. That's a great shirt.
Kennedy Miller facing Maddie Penta. Miller retired with a ground out to Peralta at short back in the 1st inning.
you have to believe, as much as these pitchers make this ball move, we also asked that question before the game, talking to the Auburn strength coach, just the wear and tear on the forearm, because they pronate that wrist and they turn things over. There's so much action going on. Right at release point. I don't know if we can see it, it's so fast, but there's just so much action that goes on with the pitch, and it's right at release point. Talk about kind of a violent move when they turn the ball over, turn the ball inside. But they are durable because they pitched a lot of innings, as Maddie Pinta has.
One-two from Pinta, sped her up. Trying to get that 5th strikeout of the day.
Same principles apply whether it's baseball pitching or softball pitching. You see right there in the circle, they've got 2 white lines basically lining up the hallway for her. That's what I tell baseball players. You're in a hallway and you've got to drive through that hallway, and boy, she stayed right in the middle of it.
And we ruined a good pitch that was up in the zone. And Miller having a great start to the year. Again, we've talked about it, hitting .429, and I'm interested to see how she can carry that into this weekend against SEC pitching. This is her first go at it, and how about that for a freshman? Your first SEC debut, you've got to face the reigning SEC pitcher of the year.
Well, and we're gonna show you some highlights throughout this game. There's 11 or 12 teams ranked in the top 25, so she's gonna face this kind of pitching every day. Got a chance for 2.
Peralta takes care of the line out, doubles up Ellis at schedule this year.
When we were talking about what Kennedy Miller was going to face as a freshman, the pitching is just every single weekend. Bunt attempt there by Rose Roach. She's hitting down the lineup, trying to get on the base. I'm impressed. I love this game because it's so fast. I mean, everybody, the third baseman is sitting right there about 18 or 20 feet away from Rose Roach, and you just don't have a lot of time if she bunts.
Roach was Auburn's best hitter last year at Bogle Park in the SEC tournament. I mean, she was the spark in this lineup and took over second base late in the season. And she's a junior out of Auburn, Illinois. And again, her average wasn't the highest last year, but she was clutch when it mattered most down the stretch of the season. This one lifted up in the air and foul.
Good 2-strike approach. Something we'll talk about with the Arkansas offense as well. And Auburn's the same boat. These 2 teams don't strike out much. They battle. They put the ball in play, and a good approach there. She got jammed. Hitters have to ruin the good pitches with 2 strikes. You're kind of in a street fight. You got to foul off the good pitches and let a pitcher make a mistake. If you foul enough pitches off, you'll get one to hit.
2 good eye in the dirt outside.
Morgan Leinstock's at 28 pitches, and it's been total control. It has been absolute dominance so far. Maybe anywhere from 8 to 9 balls. The rest of them all been strikes.
Another one in the dirt. And Mark, one thing you were talking about, how quick this game is. I heard you say yesterday, and I want you to touch on it. Talk about how much you like softball so much more than baseball right now.
I love it.
How quick, is fast, is fun, is action-packed, and that's why the game's growing so much right now.
I love it, and they do a great job. I love watching Oklahoma City every summer. And let's go back to that harmless little foul ball by Rose Roach now. She's gone from an 0-2 count.
Yep.
She got beat on a pitch, ruined it, and now she's in a 3-2 count. But you're right, Britt. I tune in every year if I have a chance to watch the College Baseball World Series. Thank goodness I'm not the same week. I watch the College Softball World Series. I just love it. It's such a competitive game, and they are so good.
I've been lucky enough to go twice, 2015, 2016. Absolutely nothing like it. And how about Morgan Leinstock? Fell behind 0-2 to 3-2, and on the payoff pitch, got her looking, called strike 3. Four-scene footage and sound from players and coaches, a real behind-the-scenes look. Again, that's on the SEC Network and the ESPN app.
I'm sure Coach Dean had a little conversation with Rose Roach. She had a great at-bat and then took a pitch right down the middle with 2 strikes. So she was battling and then gave in a little bit there late against Leinstock.
Aubrey Lisenby at the plate for the Tigers, starting catcher. She does a really nice job of handling Maddie Pinta behind the plate. This is Lisenby's 3rd year with Pinta. 0-2 inside, strike 3 on 3 pitches. And Leinstock, she struck out the last 4 hitters in a row.
Watch the late action. Look at that. I mean, that ball started middle of the way and ran in, and just no chance right there for Lisenby at all to get a bat on the ball. So she's just She's in total command of, I would guess, 3 or 4 pitches right now.
6 strikeout through 2 2/3. Abby Smith coming to the plate. First pitch fouled off, and well, Abby Smith, she was a spark for Auburn on Sunday. Made her first start of the season, Game 3 on Sunday at Missouri, and Coach Dean really liked how she was able to roll the lineup over. And well, you look at her numbers, what she did. She earned this start today against Arkansas.
Yeah, only 11 at bats, and she did. You're right, but it was a time when they really need somebody, right? They're down 0-2 in the series and need somebody to step up. We talked about the Leck home runs, and then right here, Abby Smith putting the ball in play as well.
Yeah, had a 2 for 3 day. Linestock missing outside. That evens the count up 1-1.
This is a tight strike zone. I've seen some really good pitches, and that one right there was pretty good. A great take, you say to the hitter when you're in the other dugout.
And you're one, Mark. You always like the widened strike zone. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Linestock's got to play defense. Low throw. Bree Ellis with a scoop at first. Coach Courtney Deifel, Coach, a great start to this game offensively. How were you able to take advantage of what Maddie Pinta was giving you in the first inning?
Yeah, it's a really great start off of a really tough pitcher, but our players are just trusting the plan right now and seeing it pretty well and putting good swings on it.
Coach, I know you head coaches are superstitious, but can I say that Morgan Linestock is absolutely dealing right now?
Yeah, she looks really good. So we have more tools in our tool chest. We'll use them as we need to, but she's breaking the ball really well and spotting it really nicely.
Coach, thanks for the time. Best of luck.
Thank you. We'll pick.
Coach Courtney Deifel, appreciate her time, middle of the game. Her Hogs lead Auburn 4-0 on the road, and this is their SEC opener of 2024. Got some good hitters coming in the play. They've got Gamble, Kramer, and Hedgecock in 5, 6, and 7 this inning to face Maddie Pinta. And, well, the one difference, though, Mark, between the first inning now and the second and third, now the fourth, is Pinta settled in from the second inning on.
She has, but you see that hack right there by Hannah Gamble. Look, I said her last at bat, Coach Deifel had said that she was being the best version of herself this year. She kind of found herself, which means she relaxed and she has confidence. And that hack right there had one thing on it, and that was hit it over the scoreboard, and she just missed it.
And Gamble she was one of the players that we asked Coach Deifel about specifically this week in our interview with her, just because of, well, the resume that Hannah has. I remember her from 2 seasons ago in the year she had, and struggled a little bit last year, but how she's been able to battle back from that and hit her 7th home run back in the first inning. Solo shot off the scoreboard. 0-2 pitch, home crowd wanted that one. Gamble takes it for ball 1.
Well, again, I'm not sure who the strength coach is, but these girls are strong. Whoever he or she is, they have done a great job of getting these athletes for Arkansas in great physical shape. Power comes from the lower half. You see how strong Hannah Gamble is right there.
1-2. Maddie Pinta changes the eye level. Gamble did not bite.
Very quiet move by Hannah Gamble. Not a big load, not a lot going on. Very quiet, very simple. And the stronger you are, the easier you can work. She's very smooth. Just kind of watch. It's a very simple setup. And you'll see her front foot load just a little bit, and she gets to the hitting zone in a hurry.
2-2. Maddie Pinta wins this batter. Tip foul to the mid of Lisenby. And it's 1 down here in the 4th. One down for Pinta to face the left fielder Reagan Kramer. Kramer is one of 5 strikeout victims today against Pinta.
Coach Deifel's comment about her, she's better with better pitching. Well, here you go. She thinks she's more effective, maybe more locked in when she faces better pitching. You can't face anybody better than Maddie Pinta, so she should be dialed in right here.
Well, what kind of compliment is that, Mark? You're better against better pitching. Is this one lifted over to the camera well over there, and man, he didn't even flinch.
You had a glove, you'd have caught it.
That's impressive.
The play of the day.
That's impressive.
That's the 3rd time.
3rd time, yeah, and he almost caught one earlier. Let's give him a glove on that right hand over there. Pinta back to work. High in the zone, maybe a little outside too. 1-2.
Back to your comment, what does that mean? I just think some athletes are almost bored against lesser pitching. I mean, that's not what Coach Deifel meant,
sure,
but her game amps up against a pitcher like Maddie Pinta. So we'll see here, 2-strike situation, battle on battle, see who wins it.
Good eye by Kramer. Here's the thing. You've got to locate against Kramer because, I mean, look at her numbers this year. She leads the team with 19 walks, has a really patient approach with a 480 on base percentage.
6 for 6 stolen bases, so another good runner, much like Johnson. Another All-American, and she said, kind of like we talked about with Hannah Gamble, that the game's kind of come back to her a little bit too this year.
In she go. Third base umpire Tom Meyer said she did not. That left the shoulders, but didn't fully extend.
Pretty close. No real response from the Auburn dugout, but pretty close. We'll get a good look at it here. Yay. If I'm pitching, I need that one. My stuff's not as good as Maddie Pinto's. I got to have everything, all the help I can get.
Payoff, Pinto lost her outside.
That's a great walk. Reagan Kramer, you mentioned 19 walks, now 20. And now she's a stolen base threat. What a great at bat. She fouled one off with 2 strikes. She took a close pitch and took ball 4. Now she's on the base.
And the thing about Arkansas now, they've got a base runner on now every inning except for the second. And that's key against a pitcher like Maddie Pinto.
Well, it is because you're fatiguing her. You're getting pitches in her body and making her make more pitches. Already almost to 60.
Ryland Hedgecock, ground ball to third, rollers to second, Rhodes turns it to first, throw it up, 5-4-3, double play.
Don't see many of those in this world, Britt. Fun to watch.
Back-to-back in double plays, helping out pitcher Maddie Pinto in the circle. How do you like the way both of those are working together, pitching and defense here against Arkansas?
Yeah, it's always to get good to get 2 outs with 1 pitch.
Coach, what are the adjustments you want your offense to make against Morgan Linestock, who's throwing pretty well?
Her bat angle's not real good right now. Most of her pitches are moving down. They're off speed, and they're moving down, and we're swinging down on the ball where we need to get our bat head a little bit under and have a better bat angle to the ball.
Coach, thanks so much. Best of luck.
War Eagle.
Tigers head coach Mickey Dean. Tigers trying to battle back here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And, Mark, we had an explosive top half of the first. It's been a pitcher's duel ever since. Auburn wants to change that this inning with the lineup rolling over.
Well, and second time through the lineup. That was interesting to hear his comment. He wants his girls to go get it and really launch angle is what he's talking about. So she's sinking the ball. I'm going to turn that in baseball terms, and she is. She's got great action down the ball, and the Auburn hitters are swinging down on it. Well, they're striking out, first of all. But second of all, he wants them to get under it, which is interesting. I don't know that you would ever advise that in baseball, but here in softball, we're changing the swing angle based on the pitcher.
And it's based on the pitch movement. There's McCreary. It's an off-speed, low and in.
And, Brett, that's just attacking your opponent. That's just adjusting to what you see the pitcher doing. That's what Auburn's trying to do here. Now, can they do it, right?
Yeah.
It sounds good in theory, but she's pretty good. We'll see if Auburn can do it.
1-1, came inside and got her on the leg. And Auburn has got their first base runner of the day. See if that can be a spark for the Tigers.
Left-handed pitcher for Arkansas getting loose over in their bullpen. I can't tell if it's Kamenzine or if it's they're all, well, 2 of them are lefties. So it's either going to be Kamenzine or Robin Heron potentially getting loose. They have 2 lefties with similar stuff, but one of them's getting loose in the bullpen.
Yeah, it's Heron, number 11, getting warm. And first pitch, wild pitch to Michaela Packer, gives McCreary a free base to second. And Auburn's got a runner in scoring position.
Second time through the lineup. I think that's why there's so many different changes in softball, but it's hard sometimes. Same in baseball. It's hard to stay out there and just continue to dominate second time through. See if Auburn can adjust. They got to look at it. They talked about it. They're making adjustments. Can they adjust and get some runs?
1-0, missing out.
You know, non-conference softball is great, and they got to get ready, but there's nothing like SEC softball. The crowds grow. The weather's better here in March. We had bad weather yesterday, but it's competitive on every single pitch.
On the one downside, this 2-0 pitch is a strike outside corner. The one downside I think that Auburn has going against it right now is the men's basketball team's playing right now in the SEC men's basketball tournament semifinal. Mark, I'm expecting maybe a bigger crowd today for game 2 possibly.
Yeah, you Auburn fans, come on out.
2-1. Packer being patient. And you talk about leaders on this Auburn team, Mark. I think everybody looks at Michaela Packer as one of the leaders on this team. She's a senior, and she is a key personality in that Auburn dugout. ahead 3-1. Got a pitch she liked and lost her shield off her elbow.
She got a pitch she liked, and she tried to make it 4-2. A really good swing, and that's the way you should swing 3-1. You're looking for something in the middle, and she tried to attack it, just missed it, but a really good swing and a good pitch. Now let's see if Morgan Linestock can work her way through this and not give Auburn any crack at all. Keep them down.
Payoff, fouled off. And well, Packer last year did not hit a home run despite 2 years ago hitting 9 home runs her sophomore season. She dealt with a lot of injuries last year and finally got her first one this year just a couple weekends ago against USC Upstate. She has power, but more of a gap hitter. Payoff, going to stay in the infield. Bree Ellis comes up to take it at first, and it's one away.
Up to bat, number 14, Nelia Peralta.
One down, that'll bring up Nelia Peralta. Auburn trying to get one back here in the 4th inning. Runner on second, only one out. Heart of the lineup duo. Peralta with 13 runs batted in, second on the team. Wohlers on deck with 8.
Well, this is where Auburn's got it. You're in the 4th inning. You're in the bottom of the 4th, so potentially they might not get another chance, a third at bat, if she continues to throw the ball. Morgan Linestock, that is. This is where Auburn's got to try to get something here. Peralta needs to get going. One of the leaders, one of the better hitters. They need her here to drive that run in.
Ground ball to third. Gamble takes it, runs the runner back to second, fires a bullet to first. Peralta's retired, and Gamble did a nice job of holding KK McCrary at second. It's 2 down in the inning. Runner does not advance.
You're right, Britt. She had enough time to take a couple of shuffles. She shuffled back the runner back. 2 shuffles towards the base. Get her numbers turned, meaning you see her numbers, that's when you can turn and throw the first base. A great job by Hannah Gamble. Mature. That's a veteran play there.
And Gamble is that grounder. It died at second. Halverson back across the body. Runner saved. Slide it home is saved. McCrary scores. Tigers on the board.
I tell you, Britt, you teach base runners not to go head first into first base. That was probably a good choice by Anna Wohlers. And how about the really aggressive play by KK McCrary not to stop? Make the turn at third and make Bree Ellis make a pinpoint throw to get her out. She didn't do it. She's safe. Auburn's on the board.
Well, watch the ball. It looked like it was going to sneak into center. Kind of died. It took a tricky hop. Halverson had to go back across the body for a strong throw, and Ellis couldn't get it home in time. Auburn scraps across her run here in the 4th inning. They get one back and trying to stay in it here with Amelia Leck coming to bat.
That ball got up into Halverson's body a little bit. It kind of rolled up her arms and just gave enough time, maybe half a second, for Anna Wohlers to get down there and slide head first and beat it.
Another bouncer. Gamble picks it, but is foul. Instead of an out at first, it'll be 0-2.
Tell you, everything I'm seeing right now, I love Hannah Gamble. She's played great defense, had a big home run the first inning, but so far, great play there, which was inches from being a fair ball and ending the inning. She's playing a great third base and has had a great at-bat so far.
I think one of the most underrated parts of this sport is the defense that these women can play at this level.
Absolutely.
And, and look, like for Auburn, like you got Isis Tresvik out in outfield who's been robbing home runs, but my favorite position on the softball diamond to watch is third base because of the hot shots they get, the glove work they have to have with the leather. And Gamble's certainly one of the SEC's best. Here's Leck. A little early.
And I guess it's a choice, but I'm noticing now, it takes me a little bit, rhythm a little slow, but Morgan Linestock not wearing the face protective mask like Anna Pinta does. So it's close. I mean, you're 43 feet away from girls that are strong and hitting the ball hard, and she's choosing not to wear it.
1-2.
Great at bat. Amelia Leck, great at bat. Battling the 2 strikes.
And I'll say this, I respect any player's choice for it, one way or the other. But I will say my opinion certainly changed after seeing an injury in the NCAA tournament a couple years ago. It is scary indeed. 1-2 pitch, another one foul. Leck continuing to battle.
What a great at bat. And Coach Dean, they've made adjustments. Auburn has. They've had a better inning. They've gotten ahead in the count a little bit. And right here now, Leck's just battling. Look, we said it again. Coach Dean mentioned this. He mentioned this, a great segue for me. He said the more pitches that the hitter sees, the advantage goes to the hitter. So now Amelia Leck's seen everything. There's no surprises right now for her, and she's a good hitter. So Lingstock needs to make a good pitch somewhere out of the zone. And she did.
1-2. Chased it low and in. Miller finishes the job with Ellis at first. Auburn gets a run across career today. She needs her defense a little bit. They've answered the bell.
Well, she does, and eventually it's going to be the offense right here. It's going to step up and do something down the stretch with 3 innings to go. 3 more at bats for this Auburn offense, 9 more outs to try to get 3 runs.
How about the hands right here? Second row, 2-handed catch. I mean, that's what you got to do. Complete the catch. He wasn't trying to be fancy with a one hand. Completed the catch.
Didn't even flinch. That
impressive play.
Mechanically perfect if you're watching.
Kylie Halverson on the 0-1, takes it outside.
I have to agree with Aubrey Lindsay. That was a good pitch. This is a very tight for both sides. And I'll say it's been tight both ways, but very tight strike zone for our home player, Brian Crockett. I love when you see catchers just catch it and go, ugh, their head drops. Like, what are you doing back there?
And you can see the frustration there. I think next pitch, you want that call in the corner, then you overthrow a bit on pitch number 3. What, though, as a pitcher, though, you love that out of your catcher, right? I mean, you want a catcher fighting for you behind the plate.
Well, there's little conversations going on right there between the umpire and the catcher that most of us don't even know are happening. And some are good, some not so good.
Well, I will say those 2 positions, as Halverson takes a close one outside, makes it 3-1. Those 2 positions, Mark, catcher and umpire, are the hardest 2 positions on the field.
No question about it. And Crockett hearing from the Auburn dugout, too. Lisenby, she's not helping herself by dropping the head. The umpire sees that when you drop your head, and you don't want to show the umpire up, but I agree with her. They're both good pitches.
3-1 outside, and Halverson takes it.
A little frustration there. I think Maddie Pinta made a couple pitches that were in the strike zone. She just didn't get them, which is part of the game. Look, that's part of the deal here. Umpires are human as well, but season started.
Camenzind trying to play a little small ball to move a runner over.
Well, I love the idea by Coach Deifel. You got your number 9 hitter up. You want to flip the lineup, get Reagan Johnson up. You want to advance the runner, and you need that run back. Auburn got one. Now Arkansas trying to get it right back.
Pops it up, foul territory. Oh, what a catch! Aubrey Lisenby lays out full extension to make the catch and robs Camenzind of a foul ball. 1 down here in the 5th inning.
That's exactly why Aubrey Lisenby is back there. She's not back there for her bat. She's back there for this. What a great play. Full extension and just the ability for it to be able to find that ball. You got a mask on. It's over your head with spin, and she was able to find it, go get it. What a great play.
1 down, top of the lineup. Rolls over to Reagan Johnson. Johnson 1 for 2 with a leadoff single in the 1st inning. Went down on 3 pitches in the 2nd.
You know, again, and I'm thinking this out as a baseball trained guy. The way that it was an off-speed pitch right there to Reagan Johnson, and the way these slappers kind of run forward in the box, is it harder to stay back? Do you throw them more off-speed pitches? I don't know. We'll see, but that was a really good off-speed offering there by Maddie Pinta, first pitch to Johnson.
Johnson puts this one right side of the infield. Amelia Leck at first. Takes care of it. It's 2 away.
So Johnson's first at bat, she got a fastball up and away with 2 strikes, and she slapped it to left. The last 2 at bats, it's been off speed. So I'm just kind of thinking out loud. I'd love to ask one of these 2 head coaches, are you more susceptible as a slapper running up in the box to off-speed pitches? So far for Maddie Pinta, it's worked out pretty good.
Well, 2 down. It'll be Hannah Camenzind, the 2-hole hitter for Arkansas. First pitch, off speed, handled by Leck down the first base line, and a quiet inning for Maddie Pinta. It's only 1 hit given up, and it was an infield single to second. For the most part, she's kept Auburn hitters at bay. Good hitter coming to the plate, though, and Isis Tresvik to lead off the 5th. Auburn got a much-needed run across mark in the 4th inning, and that's what's key for this Auburn offense now is to chip away, because against a pitcher like Morgan Linstock, pitching with a 3-run lead is tough.
Yeah, and it's playing right into Arkansas's favor because they're not having to use anybody else right now on the circle. They just got 1 pitcher out there doing a great job, which is going to save. We got doubleheader coming up, so game 2 coming. And they'll have a fresh arm, whoever Coach Deifel decides to use. But right now, Morgan Linestock doing everything well.
She's defended her position well a couple times too. I mean, that's the second ground ball she's been able to field in the circle. 2 pitches and an out to get us going in the bottom of the 5th. Rose Roach, Tigers' second baseman, due up next. Roach went down looking, had a good AB, Mark. Went down 0-2 to 3-2 and got caught looking for strike 3.
She did. She got frozen on a pitch in the middle of the plate, and but it did have a great at bat. See if she can get Auburn going here with 1 out.
8 hits on the year. Had a slow start. Missed a couple games this year.
Well, Britt, as an offense, you're trying to figure out what a pitcher cannot do. Like, what is it they're not? Right now, there's nothing that Morgan Linestock can't do. Changing speeds, pitching down, pitching out, and hitting spots. We call them dimes. She's hitting dimes at 43 feet.
0-2, down looking again, and Morgan Linestock with her 8th strikeout.
Just, I mean, the non-competitive at-bats by Auburn, taking called third strikes down the middle, tell you that there's just no confidence right now. They're not picking it up well, seeing it well at all.
Coach Mickey Dean comes out and wants a substitution for the Tigers. It'll be Annabelle Weidra. Weidra, a utility player for Auburn, and she's had 8 starts this year, hitting .333. Weedra's one, Mark. She can play anywhere. She's one of Auburn's pitchers. She can start or relief. She also plays second, plays third, plays a little short. I think she does just about everything but puts the catcher's gear on. Comes off the bench on the first pitch. Bounces one through the right side for a 2-out single.
How about that? Isn't that beautiful? Sitting over there for an hour and 10 minutes or so, come in, good pitch against what's right now an All-American pitcher on the mound, and boom, base hit.
Well, for you, what does that teach you, Mark? Your youngsters, you work with young kids all the time. What does that teach you about the mentality? If you're not in the starting lineup, you can still have an impact.
And you can sit over there and you can pout and you mope, and the coach calls your name and you're not ready. Or you can sit over there ready and come and do what she just did, base hit.
It's Abby Smith trying to keep it going. Smith a slapper in the 9-hole. And she's won. Well, she missed on that first bunt attempt. If she lays it down fair, she has the type of speed, Mark. She puts pressure on defenses.
Hannah Gamble basically breathing down her neck over there at third. See if she can slap one by her.
And that's the thing. Gamble's played a great third base today for Arkansas. This one's up the middle. Alberson gloves and steps on the bag at second. That's out number 3. Throw to first doesn't matter.
Great person, a great player.
That was 2 for 2 with a homer and a single, and trying to stay hot. First pitch, jumping on it.
She sure did. Why not? You know, she got 2 hits, hit a line drive last time up. So yeah, be aggressive early in the count, get something to hit. And a good pitch by Penta. Took a little off, came in. Casey, if you're listening, forgive me if I'm not sounding softballish. I'm doing the best I can. You were the best, and I love watching you play.
Mark, you're great, and I'm glad you're here. I do miss Coop.
You had to say that first part.
Of course. Just like, listen, when you work with Lynn Rollins, the great softball announcer from LSU, also does a lot of LSU baseball. I'm sure you would like to work with Lynn Rollins too, right?
No, I'm a Brit guy. I'm a Brit guy all the way.
I appreciate it.
Loyal.
1-1. Low and inside. Counts 2 balls
pitch.
and a strike.
Another good pitch. And Auburn just pins it right now. It's 3 or 4 the last inning. She has felt like, hey, that was in my zone. And Auburn still giving a little grief to Mr. Crotcher behind the plate.
Trying to pitch around it. So far, Penta's done a decent job of that. Again, hasn't had a run across since the first. 2-1, and Lisby calls time as Penta, you can tell, a little visibly frustrated. Gives them both time to settle down, catch their breath, and get a game plan together for a 3-1 count.
Well, and if you're Aubrey Lisby, you've got to let it go. You've got to let Coach Dean coach and talk with the umpire, and you've got to go, because you can affect your pitcher. If everything that she throws, you drop your head and you show emotion, that can affect Maddie Penta and make her mad. Like, hey, I'm not getting the better end of the deal here. So you got to get back on her game, back there behind the plate, let Coach Dean do the discussions with the umpire, and go to work.
Face a good hitter, though. Arkansas with 4 hits on the day. Bree Ellis with 2 of them. Pinta trying to keep it a 3-run game. 3-1 is inside for ball 4. That is the third walk of the day for Pinta. And puts the leadoff runner aboard for Arkansas.
Maddie Pinta seemed to nibble a little bit there. You know, obviously with a home run and a line drive on the first 2 at-bats, she seemed like she might have picked around a little bit. Maybe gave her too much credit, even though she deserves a lot. But Maddie Pinta is Maddie Pinta, and I didn't really see her go at her, which that digs a hole now, because now you've got to deal with Kennedy Miller coming up.
And Miller 0 for 2 today. Put the ball in play twice, both times to Nelia Peralta at shortstop. Miller having a great year, hitting .414. I mean, she has some of the best freshman numbers of anybody in the SEC. 0-1, hot shot into left field. 5th base hit of the day, first SEC hit for Kennedy Miller. Here's a look at her SEC freshman ranks and where she stacks up.
Pretty simple.
Pretty simple. First,
1-1-1.
Yep, first in every category, batting average, RBI, and slugging percentage.
Well, I'm watching her hit right there. Very similar to Hannah Gamble. Very quiet, smooth, a little bit more of a load. Here's Hannah Gamble coming up. We talked about her batting approach and rhythm last time. But a very smooth approach to the ball with Kennedy Miller and a great swing. First, and first.
First pitch, Gamble left center field. Drops at the bottom of the warning track. That scores 1. A long RBI single for Hannah Gamble. Hogs extend their lead back up to 4. Is 5-1 Arkansas. Second RBI of the day for Hannah Gamble.
Well, and third time through the lineup, and Arkansas really on Maddie Pinta. Got a fastball middle in there. Did Gamble and just smoked it. She's had 2 big hits. So the middle of this order, they are doing their job of punishing the Auburn pitching and giving the lead now 5-1.
Well, and you look between Ellis and Gamble now, 4 hits between the 2 of them. They both are responsible for all 5 RBIs. Ellis with 3, Gamble with 2, and Auburn with that. They're going to make a pitching change for Maddie Pinta. Top of the 6th, 5-1. Hogs lead it. We'll have a new pitcher when we come back. Freshman from Marietta, Georgia, Milena Tambora in to relieve the SEC Pitcher of the Year, Maddie Pinta. And Bora leaves around 70. He's got a good drop ball, good changeup. That one comes in mid-60s, facing the middle half of this order. Reagan Kramer due up with runners at the corners, 1st and 3rd.
Yeah, I was going to say, Britt, she's been brought into a fire. She pitched 1 inning last week in Missouri, and she's been brought in here to face an All-American with nobody out, 2 on, and just needs to get really not even a ground ball. You want to keep that run from scoring if you can.
1-0 pitch.
Quite an athletic family. Milena, her mom, Stacy, played softball at Oklahoma, transferred to Florida State, and Dad now is the strength coach for Georgia Tech baseball and the strength coach for Georgia Tech golf. So she's grown up with an athletic family, and I'm sure worked out quite a bit with Dad being a strength coach.
Well, speaking of Georgia Tech, they actually come to Auburn in a couple weeks. I think first weekend of April, Georgia Tech softball comes to Auburn for a tournament. Got a first strike on the inside corner. It's 2 balls and a strike. And Mark, I wanted your opinion of this when Coach Dean was telling us about Milena's drop ball. He called it a heavy drop ball, and that it doesn't travel well. It stings the hands, and big advantage to Tambora.
Well, you can relate that to a sinker in baseball, where it's like a bowling ball.
Yeah.
And when you make contact with it, if it's not square, it hurts. It's the same weight that another pitcher might have, but there's something about the way she throws it, spins it, releases it that causes that thing just to be heavy, with heavy sink and drop. And she's a down in the zone pitcher, not really a rise ball pitcher. She's going to make her living down.
2-2 to Kramer. Left center field. Smith and Packer going to work as Packer makes the catch. That'll allow Miller to tag from 3rd. Arkansas tacks on another with a sac fly from Reagan Kramer. 12th RBI is 6-1 Razorbacks.
Well, and good pitching by Tambora, but you're facing an All-American in Kramer, and she did her job. Just a fly ball to the outfield, get the run home. Now that lead now is building for Morgan Linestock at Arkansas as she pitches in the circle when the inning ends.
Yeah, I think you just hit the nail on the head, Mark. The insurance now with only 6 outs to play. 5-run lead in the SEC. Tough for any team to overcome. Ryland Hedgecock tries to add to it this at bat. Hedgecock 0 for 2, hit into that 5-4-3 double play to Anna Wohlers. back in the fourth.
Well, if you're Milena Tambora, how cool to be able to apprentice, so to speak, under Maddie Pinto. I mean, to say you sat for a season in her senior year and got to work with her and watch her work and then learn from her and go from there, 2-ball chance.
In the middle, Peralta flips to Roach, stretching it first. Amelia Leck takes care of business. Third double play of the day for this Auburn infield. Remaining undefeated team in Division I softball. Boy, the Tigers had a huge win in the midweek. They took down #1 Texas at Tiger Park, and Mark Auburn has got to go to Tiger Park in a couple weeks, and then LSU, they go to Arkansas. So both these teams today have to face that top team. KK McCrary set back on and off speed. Good contact, but fell right to the left fielder, Reagan Craig. 2015 team, Auburn played them in the first game in the Women's College World Series in 2015. Very next year, Auburn and LSU played in the SEC Tournament Championship in Starkville, Mississippi. So those LSU teams, I know that's two of the best years Auburn had in their program, but LSU was right there at the top of the SEC. Opposite field, long run. Reagan Johnson, talk about her range. Well, there it is. Great example. Tracks it down in right center.
Yeah, any ball with any hang out there. Remember, this is a 3-time state champ hurdler in the 300 meters. She's going to run it down, and she did make it look easy.
And that's the thing, and we haven't had a chance to talk a ton about it today, is outfield depth for both of these teams. I mean, you look who you got in center for Auburn and center for Arkansas. Reagan Johnson for Arkansas, Michaela Packer for Auburn. I mean, those two, I think, can hang with each other step for step, and what a treat that is for both teams' defense.
I'll tell you, back to Morgan Linestock, she has given Auburn no pitches, not one pitch in the middle of the plate. I mean, nothing. She's gotten ahead in the count, maybe 2 or 3 counts where she wasn't ahead, and she has lived on the corners and down.
Well, and that's the difference in the game, right? It's not typical for Maddie Pinto to give anybody anything. In Arkansas, they got just enough of advantage in the first inning. They caught a pitch or two hanging over the plate, and Arkansas's great hitters, they made her pay, and they jumped after that 4-0 lead, haven't looked back.
Pitch count's in good shape. 72 pitches through 5 2/3 innings. So 4 more outs to get for her to finish this thing off for Arkansas. Let them be 1-0 in the conference.
Well, like you said, only 72 pitches, and big today because you got a double header today as Peralta throws.
That was a Bugs Bunny changeup.
Yeah.
That thing almost stopped halfway to the plate, and you could see Peralta just froze.
Bugs Bunny changeup. I don't have to add that one to my arsenal.
You're too young to know what that is.
No, Mark. I'm 32. I know Bugs Bunny. Hot shot off the glove of Gamble, down into left field for a base hit for Nelia Peralta. Well, and I told you, Mark, I know her numbers is not where she wants them this year, but when she gets it going, that swing right there, that's what Nelia Peralta is capable of.
Well, and Gamble's made every play, and that was just smoke. And that was a line drive just above her head. Just couldn't quite get that one, but she played a great third base and a good swing by Peralta.
And it's funny you say that, and I say that because of my old partner, Casey Cooper. You ask Hannah Gamble if she should have caught that ball. She'd tell you absolutely.
She's mad at herself right now. I got a pinch runner over there first. Riley McNeamer, excuse me, got a pinch runner for her.
Yeah, McNeamer came off injury this year, missed most of last season. And that's been a role this year, and she's pinch run a handful of times. Good speed off the bench for Auburn. Gives Anna Wohlers an opportunity. Wohlers had the first hit for Auburn back in the 4th inning. That infield single, the second, that ended up scoring a run for the Tigers.
Went in head first, slid in, was safe. And McCrary kept going, and she came on around and scored from second base.
9th RBI of the year for the transfer from DePaul. 0-1 chasing, blowing away.
Just late action right there.
Yep.
And so in the baseball world, if you can make it move 55 feet away from the pitcher, 5 feet from home plate, you get outs. In this world, if you make it move like that, sudden movement 37 feet away, the hitter can't adjust. The eyes have told the brain go, and there's no way to adjust.
On the run is Johnson. They're in plenty of time for out number 3. Through 6 and all.
They put the 4 runs on, and really, Britt, the way Morgan Linestock, we saw her numbers there, the way she was pitching, the game was over right then. I saw Coach Deifel ask her right there. They were meeting at the inning. She said, "Hey, you good?" She gave her the thumbs up. She's going to be out there in the 7th inning to finish it off.
Halverson leading off the inning for Arkansas. He's 0 for 1 today with the walk. It'll be 8, 9, and 1 due up. Halverson, Lauren Camden's in, and then Reagan Johnson back at the top.
38 home runs in 2 years at South Dakota State, and you're hitting 8 in the lineup, which is not an insult in an SEC lineup.
But that's
what's
the
ahead
thing.
of her.
I said the same thing about Rylan Hedgecock, though. I mean, she was an All-American last year. She's hitting 7th, and that's a good problem to have for Coach Deifel. And in talking to her this week, I didn't really get the sense, though, that, you know, that there's any ego in that, right? I mean, everybody's buying into their role, and I think right now just to be in this Arkansas lineup's a good thing, with as much talent. Hot shot to second, going down to get it. Rose Roach, glove side, able to make the catch.
Britt, the greatest challenge any head coach has, I don't care if it's football, golf, is selfishness. In this world we live in, it's probably always been that way. I mean, athletes want to be out there. But this world we live in, with so many things going on, the NIL and the portal and all the things we have going that kind of cater to the athlete.
Yep. That's
the biggest challenge these coaches have, is buying into the team and not the self.
Well, and to that point, Coach Mickey Dean now for Auburn, and I'll use Rose Roach as the perfect example. He's told me for the last 2 or 3 years, he said, look, he said, I make the lineup the opening weekend. Every weekend after that, the players make the lineup. And you look at how Rose Roach got in the lineup at the end of last season. I mean, going to the last weekend of the regular season, on the first pitch, Camden's in. Laces one into left.
Had a pinch hitter, but Nia Carter.
And actually, pinch hitter, thank you, Mark.
First pitch, and just smoked it. And I was really wanting to give her bio. We get back around to her maybe in game 2. We're going to talk about her bio, but she gets the first pitch, and again, doesn't try to do too much. Watching just good hitting. Playing Pepper. Playing Pepper with the left fielder. A line drive single. We saw it earlier from Arkansas. Good hitting, good approach. Nia Carter.
Well, and she led the Big Ten last year, transferred in from Arkansas, hit .479 last year, and then pinch hit off the bench today. Again, she started 21 games this year, Mark. We could see her back in the lineup, I think, before this weekend's over.
Good, because I can't wait to read her bio. Her bio is the most impressive bio I've ever read. Her family and where they've all been, it's like this and that. They cover every sport out there. They've all
Mom,
played
dad, brother, all college athletes.
Cousins, dogs, cats, everybody's played the sport.
Yeah, I've always held that against my parents, never given me that gene. But your boys, on the other hand, they've got a little something to go off on. Snap throw down the first. Lisenby just keeping Carter in check, because Carter this year base running for Arkansas is one stolen base, but still, I mean, she's a threat. 22 hits on the year, now 23. Top of the lineup, 2-0 count, hitters count for Reagan Johnson. Lays down a bunt. Tough, late getting there is Roach. Bobbled the throw. Not sure it would have mattered anyway with the speed of Johnson. And Arkansas is putting pressure on his first and second, only 1 out.
And that's almost defenseless against that kind of speed. The only thing Auburn might do different is let Mike stay back at the bag. But she wasn't sure. She had to make sure that the ball was fielded. There's no chance.
Yeah,
that
she was safe.
Speed.
Yeah.
It's a perfectly placed bunt, and the only option would be for Leck to stay back at the bag, but nothing you can do. That's just a good, clean approach and a good base hit.
Now first and second, you got to be on your P's and Q's on defense. I mean, this is where the little things matter, right? With first and second, Coach Dean talked to us about communication, defensive decision-making, and Auburn's defense today has been great, Mark. I mean, you think about the 3 double plays they've been able to turn.
It has, no question they have, but that's defenseless. With that kind of speed and that kind of placement, there's nothing you can do there. And look, don't be shocked if Hannah Camden's doesn't do it again right here. With Brie Ellis on deck, you load these bases up and you run roll Auburn here in the top of the 7th. Well, I guess they get the hit, but you can really put it away if she gets on base as well and loads them up.
Well, that's the thing about Johnson getting on base is, you're right, it does give Brie Ellis one more AB if Camden can avoid a double play here. 4 at-bats in a 7-inning game for your power-hitting, middle-of-the-order hitter is pretty impressive. That's what you want. You get that enough, you're going to win a lot of softball games. Left center field. Trouble for Smith and Packer. How about that play? Michaela Packer robbing Camden of an extra base hit in left center.
Greg, Michaela Packer was nowhere in the picture. And look, it's a left-handed hitter. This ball's slicing away from her. So she had to run an extra 5 or 8 yards just to get to this ball. Watch this. I mean, look at where she is. And remember that slicing away from her, left-handed bat. impressive. You just mentioned the defense and Auburn continuing it out.
Well, and listen, I know Auburn doesn't have the bats today, at least in game one, that they want, but this defensive performance today, Mark, you need something positive going into game two, and that's any team, right? After dropping game one, if they do it, defense is what this team can hang their hat on right now because they've been making plays on the entire game.
And very dangerous here. If you have any chance at all to come back in the 7th inning, and I'm not sure the way Morgan is pitching for Arkansas, I'm not sure. You got to keep Bree Ellis from doing it again.
Well, one bright spot, though, Ellis has not seen Helena Tambora as she's seen, Maddie Pinta now for 2 or 3 years. So a bit of a different mix-up now for Ellis, who's had a great day, 2 for 2, with 2 runs scored and a 3-run home run.
Well, and apparently the report is to stay in on her because they've pitched her in all day, but 2 mistakes by Pinta. She didn't get it in enough on the home run and the single, and then same thing here with Tambora, trying to get in there and jam her up and keep her arms from getting extended. There they go again. And they did it.
Third baseman Anna Woller's calling every pass the baton. Arkansas 1 pitch at a time, and you get a game 1 victory.
Well, and I think even though they have Amelia Leck up, I think you have to take till you get a stride. She hasn't walked anybody today. She's pitched great, has Morgan Linestock, but I think you got to try to see. Well, she won't give you a base runner or 2.
And that's the thing. Take nothing away what Arkansas's offense has done today with Bree Ellis and company, with the big home run. But Linestock, her work in the circle today, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 8 strikeouts, and to your point, Mark, no walks.
0, and then bust strike 1 here in the bottom of the 7th, too.
And Leck chasing 1 in the dirt makes it 0-2.
She's definitely had Amelia Leck's number.
Yeah.
Amelia Leck taking time out, regroup. But really, Britt, when you think about it, Morgan Linestock's done it all. She's had 3 pitches. She's had both zones, out, in, and down. And she's had movement. So there's just no way to approach a pitcher like this. I mean, you're going to lose on these days. This is an A game for her. And when you give up 4 runs in the first inning, you're going to lose when the a player, a pitcher is pitching like this. She got out of bed this morning and brought her A game with her to the park.
0-2 in the dirt, blocked up by Miller. Got to chase it down the line. Unable to get there, and Leck able to get a free base to first.
So that ball hit Leck, and I don't know anybody's going to question it. I guess the ball bounced up and hit her, I thought, as she was running the baseline, which I guess that's okay. Nobody from Arkansas seems to be questioning it.
Well, and what I'm curious about for Arkansas, and I guess we'll never know this, is because of the doubleheader today, did Arkansas make a change of who was starting game 1, or was Linestock the plan the entire time? That's something I would love to know from Coach Deifel.
She won't tell us.
And she shouldn't, but I'm just saying with that's the strategy these coaches have to play their hand and move their chess pieces when a 3-game series is moved from 3 days to a doubleheader on Saturday, Sunday. It changes things up a little bit because we saw it last year in Alabama when Auburn and Alabama faced off against one another. It changed Auburn's pitching plans up a little bit. Pinta didn't start game 1. She started game 2, and it paid off for Auburn.
Well, whatever the decision was, it was the right one. She had confidence in her, and she has come through with a great performance.
And Linestock this year has had strong numbers. She is 5-0 with a 1.36 ERA, 12 appearances, 5 starts. She has 2 complete games going for her 3rd today.
I don't know that we've seen a comfortable swing in 7 innings, 6+.
Chopped at 3rd, Gamble off the hop to Halverson, to first to Ellis, 5-4-3 double play. Hogs are 1 out away.
Hey, the defense on both sides has been unbelievable. Second time that Hannah Gamble has gone 5-4-3 in the game. The defense on both sides of the field has been really, really solid. And that's how you win an SEC championship. This Arkansas team's got power. They've got defense. I don't know where the hole is. Morgan Linestock has shown to be an ace today. So they are a complete team ready to go to work in this conference.
Oh, and seen great defense from the left side at both infields. And then the center fielders doing work. Reagan Johnson with her range. And then, of course, Michaela Packer, the diving catch. She's had a let's not forget the great diving catch from Auburn's catcher, Aubrey Lisenby, on the bunt.
Yeah, it's been very solid on both sides. No errors in this game. 1 or 2 walks on the Auburn side. It's just been the offensive Arkansas that's been the difference.
Coming down to Rose Roach. Roach played a good second base today, trying to get the bat going. No, she'll come up swinging this time as Linestock out of looking not once but twice today. On a spin coming from Linestock.
53 miles an hour. We've seen her pitch between about 63 and 52 today. And when she goes to that changeup or whatever that off-speed pitch is, it is just deadly. It's like it takes a right-hand turn and just drops. So it's pretty similar, Britt, to baseball pitching. A changeup, the arm speed, whether it's over top or underneath, the arm speed is what fools the hitter. The grip changes the speed of the ball, but the hitter sees the arm speed. So the eyes react to the arm speed. They get out on the front foot. It's too late to adjust, and they're off the barrel.
3-1 off the end of the bats. Auburn's down to their final strike.
This is where when you're pitching, the adrenaline takes over. You have come this far, you have dominated, and you are down to your last pitch. And this is one of those where you throw this pitch, and if you get it, you come out of your shoes and celebrate.
Linestock for the win, and Rose Roach extends this ball game with a 2-out single. Her first hit of the afternoon, 4th hit for Auburn.
Really good swing, good at bat there by Rose Roach.
Love the fight there from Roach with 2 outs.
Another pinch hitter. We're getting Skylar Elkins now stepping in to swing bat for Auburn here with 2 outs in the 7th.
This pinch hit there for Auburn because Elkins, she'll probably find her way into the lineup, splitting catching time with Aubrey Lisenby. And Elkins this year, 7 starts, hitting .333, 6 hits on the year. I mean, why not get her an extra AB before, especially if she gets to start later today in game 2. Elkins is sophomore out of Locust Grove, Georgia. Really taking a big step forward here her sophomore year.
Good cut on that sinking fastball. First pitch right off the bat, right at her with good sink. Linestock ahead in the count.
0-1. Another one.
Same pitch, just down, down, down. Down with action. Nothing in, we call it the danger zone, the hitting zone. She hasn't thrown more than a couple pitches in the danger zone today. She stayed below the hard deck.
Linestock lost it in the dirt, got between the legs of Miller, gives Rose Roach a free base. But still though, wild pitch in the dirt, up 6-1. Down to the final strike. Linestock still in control of it.
Yeah, if it's 4-1 like it was back there in the 6th inning, you feel like maybe. But with 6-1, sure. 2 outs, you just, the hope really for the Auburn offense isn't there right now. You need a couple more things to happen.
Good eye by Elkins outside. Well, Mark, we get to do this all over again at around 3 o'clock Central, game 2 of this series. And game 1 was moved to today. 2-2, swung on and missed. Runner's got to go down to first. Miller to Ellis, and Morgan Linestock secures the first SEC win of the year for the Arkansas Razorbacks.